Why not?
I don't know. So,
Sorry?
what did you do last week? This week?
Is it on?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. Wrestling, school, chilling. Pretty much my life right now. Wrestling, recovering from wrestling, and school. It's pretty much my life. Every day. Nice. Weekends are fun because weekends like this are good because I didn't have any obligations this weekend, and I could finally just like relax from wrestling. Because it's hard to relax during the week. Like, something I liked about Pitt is they always had Wednesdays off, but here they go straight through.
Yeah.
So you're like dead by Thursday. You're dead, and then you've practiced Friday, then you're really dead. But before I could go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, do something Saturday, Sunday off. But now I have to go Monday through Friday, workouts every day, and just not a lot of time to recover. So I like taking off like a day and then doing 2 days and then 1 day, 2 days hard and then 1 day easy, a day off. Would be like 2 days hard, then a day off. Instead of just doing like 5 days hard, you need like 3 days off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sucks. But
that's too bad you can't just like choose what you want to do.
I mean, you can, but can't if you want to.
In the summer, don't you get to
Yeah, you do whatever you want in the summer. No, I like it. It's just hard. But it's a system that works. But it's just not something I'm used to, you know.
It's kind of nice that like you go to D2 and it's harder. Like
it's harder workouts, yeah, for sure.
I wonder why. You think it's because it's like intimate more, or is
what do you mean
intimate? Like there's less less people on the team.
There's more people on D2.
There's not an incentive, obviously, to like push people super hard at like Pitt Main unless they want to do it themselves.
I think that Pitt Main, like when you're at a D1 program, they don't have to, like, I don't know, because they don't really tell us they don't really make us do anything. Division 2, I think that
you don't have to go to practice.
No, you do, but it's a lot less. Like, it's more, if you want to be good, you'll be good. If you don't want to be good, then you can just coast. And it's the same thing with Pitt. It's the same thing with like a D1 program, but I feel like in a D1 program, the margins are so wide between who's good and who's not good that the champ in Division 1 is so much better than just like your average guy. But your average guy in Division 1 is also good enough to be able to like drill with that champ too. Mm. Like, it's not like, it's not like 0 is with 10. It's like 7 is with 10. Mm. But from getting to 10 to 7 is a huge difference from like 7 to 8. I don't know if that makes sense. That does not make sense.
The number thing,
10 to 7, like if you're to get to 10 is a lot harder to get to 7.
Yeah, no, I got you.
But 7 is good enough to be around 10.
Yeah, for sure. For drilling, at least.
Yeah, like drilling, play wrestling.
I guess.
I just sounded so stupid right there.
No, it makes sense.
Like all right, restart that shit.
No, that was.
I don't even know where I was going with that, but I think that in Division 1, there's so many good guys that there's you can have easier practices where the guys are just trying to do things on their own and like figure out moves on their own. And then in different and not lower level, but like there's not as many good guys in Division 2 or like high school programs, so they kind of have to make the practices harder.
True.
You know what I mean? They kind of have to like get people better.
Yeah.
But in Division 1, like the guys get each other better. But there's still really good guys in Division 2 that could be Division 1, but they choose to be Division 2. Uh-huh. I don't know. I butchered that, but
no, that's...
but when you're in Division 1, like everyone is a 7. Everyone is like, no one's below like a 7, but get to a 10 is like you have like a 1% chance of getting to a 10.
Yeah.
But a 7 can be with a 10, like drilling and
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then a 7 can make a 10 better too. You know what I mean? But to be a 10 is like a 1%. You're like,
Yeah. It's
unless
well, what do you consider a 10? Like David Taylor? Or
no, like a 10 would be like a national champ. Like to be that though is so hard that it's such a low. Like you have to be so good already to get going. You have to be like the percent of guys. You don't just pretty much go in being like okay and then work your way to like your senior year. You eventually win nationals. It's like if you pretty much know who's gonna be good by like the first year. You know.
Yeah.
What'd you do this week?
What did I do this week? I traded all week, and that was kind of fun because I have like a small account right now, and I put like $5,000 into a Webull account for trading options, and I've only had like 3 red days total out of like 13 trading days. So that's kind of cool. And I only am trading with like every time I buy something, every time I buy an option contract, it costs $280 or something. No, more like $300 for one contract. And in the last like 2 weeks, I made like $200 using only $300 as an investment. So like the return on investment is like 60% of the money. Like if I'm, yeah. So obviously if you extrapolate that, it's kind of cool to think like, oh, maybe in 5 years I'll be using, $10,000 as an average position size, and then I'll get the same return as 60%. That'd be $6,000 a month in trading. So that'd be pretty cool. But
nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to just keep it slow and steady with that, and then I am building this awesome deck that is sick. And in like 3 days, I put like all the posts up. There's like 9 posts. It's a 12x16 deck and has like a roof, and it's kind of crazy how much you can do in like 12 hours building shit.
Yeah, you really put your mind to that this weekend.
Oh yeah, I wanted to have it done. Once you start doing something like that, I just want to have it done so fast because I'm like so excited to use it. I can't wait to go down there.
Yeah, it's dope. Got a lot done quick.
I need to do rafters tomorrow, and that's gonna be like really tricky for me because I suck at cutting things exact. I'm more like improvised kind of person. So I'm probably
to put the roof on tomorrow.
Yeah. But a metal roof is gonna be so cool on that. I can't wait.
Yeah, it is gonna be cool. You made it higher up than I thought you would, the deck.
Yeah, I didn't even think it was that high, but now that like when I stand on it, I'm like, oh wow, this is actually really high up. But
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you watch the Federal Reserve speech?
Oh yeah.
When was that?
Dude, it's crazy.
When was that?
That was Thursday? I don't know. Maybe Tuesday or Thursday. I don't remember. But dude, it's just so cool because like so obviously the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates, and they're raising it by 75 basis points, which is the most they've done in 40 years because inflation is very high. So in the 1980s, inflation was like 12%, and there's a guy named Paul Volcker, and he was the chairman of the Federal Reserve, same person as Jerome Powell right now. And this dude in one meeting took rates from like, I don't know what exactly it was, but it was a lot. It was like a 12-point increase in one meeting. So that was 1,200 basis points in one meeting just to like shock the economy into a recession. And that's exactly what happened. And then like 5 years later, they had like good economic activity in the 80s. But that's what they're trying to do right now, but in like a slow fashion. But they're still doing it pretty fast because 75 basis points is a lot. So for reference, inflation is 8% right now, and our current rate is I think 4% for the Federal Reserve right now. Anytime in the history of like the US economy, if inflation is a certain number, the Federal Reserve interest rate has to be higher than that number for inflation to go down. So inflation is 8%. We're at 4%. That means we still have 4% more to go in rate increases, which is a full year of doing 75 basis point again, which would be a lot. That would really destroy our economy. So the question is, are we going to get inflation to come down without having to raise the Federal Reserve interest rate above that number, that's like everyone's betting on that right now, basically. Like,
Betting on they will or won't.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I have no idea.
What happens if they don't and the interest
stupid?
What happens if they don't and the interest rates goes up?
I mean, I think if they keep doing, who knows? I mean, I'm just gonna assume always that the U.S. economy will be really good no matter what, because we just have a really good way to, I don't know.
We have good infrastructure.
We have good, capitalism's good. It's good whenever you have a democracy, but we have those things, and in general, like anyone who makes like bad bets against the market, they always lose.
Mm-hmm.
If you're betting on America, unless you're doing in like some other country that's like not able to, create infrastructure like we are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So that's the big question. Are they going to do it or not? I mean, inflation already started to come down in the recent numbers. Like every month they come out with a number called the CPI and the PPI, and it tells you how much inflation the consumer is getting and how much the producer is. So the people who make goods, how much inflation do they get, and then how much inflation does the consumer get, like at the end of which is us.
Yeah.
And that number peaked at, I think it was 8.6, and then now it's at 8.1. So people are saying like it peaked, it went to the high and is coming down, but who knows?
Yeah.
Really. But everything is all about inflation, because if you think about inflation, I mean, we could have, if you had 8% inflation for 10 years, you basically would lose. I mean, it's not as simple as just saying you'd lose 80%, because 8% times 10 years is 80%. But I mean, it is somewhat that simple too. So, imagine investing all your money as a young person in the stock market, and 5 to 8 years later, you basically lost like 50% of your money because inflation ate all your profits, That's the big scare.
I don't know how that shit interests you so much.
I was like, damn, everyone's sleeping over here.
No, I follow, but it's hard to follow.
Well, I only follow it like that closely because, I mean, imagine if you're for 8 hours one day, you were just gonna look at the stock market and try to see what was about to happen and like why it's important.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't give a fuck if I wasn't a trader.
Yeah.
But like since I trade, I've already had this where he talks. This happened like 8 times already, like this year. So like every time it happens, I like have to learn something, because I mean, whenever you watch the stock market, it's like kind of boring most of the days. And then there's like 2 to 3 days a month where the market goes just fucking insane. And like you'll wake up and the market will be down. Like if the market's down 1%, just think of this. So if the market's down 1%, that's about like in general, if you make that across bonds, the stocks, everything else, that's like $1 trillion of money that's just gone. Think about that.
No, I'm
like if you woke up and the market was down 1%, that's $1 trillion of money, basically, that's getting just disappeared.
Yeah.
And that all happens just because a guy comes out and says, we're probably going to keep raising rates. That's it. And then everyone makes bets and they're all like,
who are those like the people like singular bettors doing, like singular traders doing that? Or are they like the
it's
hedge fund managers?
Hedge funds,
Is it?
Yeah.
It's
80% of all the
who's
money.
running, like, I mean, obviously you don't know who's running the hedge funds, but who's making those decisions to take money in and out of the hedge funds?
I mean, imagine me and you had,
what's that job title?
If me and you had 100 million, it's like an analyst, data analyst. Imagine if we had $100 million and we were like, we made like 20 million a year. Who gives a shit if you even have 100? You only been working for like 5 years. You know you're gonna make so much more.
Yeah.
So let's say we give like $50 million to like a hedge fund.
Yeah.
They're gonna deploy all of your money times 3x by getting leverage.
Yeah.
So they'll have like 150 million to deploy, and they'll take like 20 million of that and make that like an analyst pay. So like they'll find people that will try to think like, oh, tomorrow the inflation number is gonna come out and Jerome Powell's gonna talk. So that usually makes the market drop like 2%. So they try to find like the high probability places where they can like take a trade, and they take a trade for like $150 million, and they'll cover it like a day later, a month later, 10 years later, who fucking knows.
Yeah.
But they could make somewhere of like, 30% of all that money if they're using options and stuff like that. But that's how. If you have $20 million, you can like, I'd pay like 150
Yeah.
people to look up every kind of data they can get to just tell me if inflation is going to be higher or not this month. And then if they can say like confidently, like everyone thinks that it's going to be like 8.3, but it's going to be 8.6, which is huge extra. Like that's a lot more over 1 month. 0.3% is a lot more. So they'll try to like tell their desk that and then make trades off of it. I mean, that's like super simple. Most of it's like algorithms, where they're all.
At least the people on Wall Street. These are like the people doing. Yeah.
Dude, the algorithms, they're called like high frequency traders. So they'll trade like 1 million trades in the course of like a minute. Like they'll take like 1 million trades in and out of different things. And they basically all like look at each other's activity and they try to look for like big orders, and they all go like at the exact same time. So you'll see the whole market just like slowly go up, and then it'll slowly go down and slowly go up and slowly go down in like these really weird shapes that aren't normal. And it's like so uniform, and it's like, how do human beings make this like stay uniform like that?
Yeah.
Because that's not what humans do. Whenever humans are trading, the market goes fucking insane. It's just like up, down, left, right. But
You're saying it's computers doing that?
Yeah, sometimes.
Is that legal?
Yeah.
Oh. Illegal or legal?
It's legal.
To have automated trades?
It's like an algorithm.
Yeah.
So it's like an algorithmic trading thing.
What was that thing that was like people were doing trades, they were able to get in and out of a trade like 0.2 seconds or 2 seconds quicker. The computers were than the New York people in New York. What was that? Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know exactly what their names were or anything, but yeah, they basically found a
They
way
built a computer system
to like find it was 0.2 so of 1 second, so 2 milliseconds. I don't know. What is it?
Oh.
Okay, so my dad just said that there would be like a 0.01 second delay between Chicago and New York, which are the two biggest stock exchanges at the time. And then they would use that discrepancy to get orders in before banks. So they would try to find a bank's order. Like they would see like,
Those are public.
No, they're a private. It's called a dark pool. So like for people like me and you, we're not allowed to see those orders.
The banks.
But yeah, we're not allowed to see what they do. Like they have it's so weird because if you have a fuck ton of money, you're like legally allowed to hide your orders. And like they say that it's like no one could see this shit, and like not retail or anyone, but like these banks, they can see each other's orders, but we can't see anything. So imagine if you're like some smaller bank like SoFi or some stupid shit like my bank, and you see that JP Morgan is going to buy like 200,000 shares of Google worth like $500 million. You would jump in front of that order to try and get your order in like a 2 million, because when they buy it, they'll affect the whole stock price themselves. You know what I mean? It's called front running. But yeah,
which is illegal.
That's legal too.
Front running?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you do it, but if I'm trading on the stock market today and I see on my options chain that like a lot of people are trading like a certain contract, and then it's just basically just a way to buy a stock or sell it, whatever. And I see like someone's about to buy 100 contracts, which is a shit ton. Usually I only trade with one. Like someone had 100, that's a lot. I would like buy that with them, because I know that they're going to like, not artificially, but they're going to move the stock price themselves because they have such a large order. Yeah, that'd have to be like, if it was an option, it would be like 100,000 contracts. That's a large order, but still, I don't get to see those big of an orders. But like if I saw like 100 shares.
Are orders supposed to be public? Like are yours public?
Mine are public.
Yeah.
Anyone that's retail is public. So you can see what retail is doing. And I'm sure that's a lot of what like these big banks will use too. They can like see retail trading. Yeah. And they'll probably collect all that data and pay someone a shit ton of money to like tell them what it means.
Yeah, I mean, stock market's interesting. learn about, but it's just such a weird profession to be in, because it's like your whole goal is to just beat, like, not even beat somebody, beat like numbers and beat.
No, it's honestly about beating other people, I think.
Well, it's not other people though. It's not always other people. It's not like there's not a person across me. Like,
no, there is.
Sport is about beating other people. It's like it's like you're beating numbers and you're beating like probability and.
Well, to me, the whole thing is that it's so easy to trade that you can just trade all the time. And then that's what makes it so hard, because people don't realize that if you trade all the time, it's like playing every hand in poker. Like, if you play every single hand, no matter what, like 7 deuce, you play it, not with like 7 deuce game on. I'm just saying, like, if you play 7 deuce all the time, you will lose like a lot. So that's the whole point, is that everyone that trades, they're always trying to just make some of the money that they, like, all the money they make, they're trying to just keep a certain percentage of it. Like, if you, let's say you make $100,000 a year, but you lose 40, but you kept 60. So you kept 60% of all the money that you made. That's good. That means you have a high win rate and you know how to make money. Like, even the people like Alex that I trade with, I think he made like 70,000 last year, but he actually made like 120 and he lost like 50,000, which is totally normal. But
he net lost 50,000.
No, he made 70,000, but he made 100,000 total. Like, if you count only his wins, you know what I mean?
He probably doesn't want you to talk about this.
Oh no, he
makes YouTube channels about
public,
it. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he made, I don't know how much it was. It was at least 100,000, I think. It's probably $130,000, but he lost also like 50,
Oh,
60,
okay.
But he kept 70,
Yeah.
and that's every trader. There's never a trader that's just like, oh, I made $100,000
all green.
this year, yeah.
Yeah. It's just a weird thing to do, though. It's like a weird.
Once you get deep,
it's
though,
a weird. It's like, yeah, just from an outside, it's like
oh yeah.
It's like a weird, like, what's your goal? Just to
make fucking
make money. Yeah, that's like a weird goal, though.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a weird goal. Kind of need other. I feel like someone that's a trader or someone that is a stockbroker, like, you need things out. You need other things that are gonna create value for other people and for yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, like, you're getting value, but for yourself in terms of like discipline, and like you're learning discipline and you're learning how you learn, and like you're learning a lot about yourself. But it's still like you're not really. You're just trying to make money. Like, you're just trying, like, just dollars. Just how many dollars can you rack up?
Yeah.
It's like a video game, So it's like a weird thing to look at, because like, what's your goal? Like, what's your goal? Just to make money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is weird. It is.
That's why every movie about trading never ends well.
Like, it's more about like being good at the game. That's how I feel like it is recently, because I'm trading with a small account again, so I don't care at all. I mean, I do care. Like, if I even lose a little bit of money now, I get a little annoyed. But every trade I take is like, I either lose like $15 or make like 25. And it used to be I would, like, every trade, it was either make like 50 to 60 or 70, or lose like 30 to 40 every trade. So I like sized down. But now that I'm doing this, I like really want to be right like all the time. So I've only been taking like 1 trade a day, trying to be like really precise and patient. And it's kind of like it is like a game almost, where I just want to like be good at it, because if you become good at that, you can be free like forever, your whole life. Like, there's people that make millions of dollars trading, and like they're not even like, it's just straight public. Like, I watch them trade all the time. It's like,
I guess it's just like a weird thing, because I don't know, like, would you rather create freedom in a different way, though?
I mean, honestly, I'd rather have multiple things. I would love to be able to like have like many Airbnbs or rental properties or something like that, because I think that would be cool. And like, I want to do that for money too, though. But at the same time, it's easy for me to need money, because I literally need money. Like, I don't have any money, so I'm just in debt. So I need to like find a way out of that. And if I can find a way out of that, I'm sure that very quickly I'm going to stop giving a shit and being like money hungry all the time. But for now, I mean, I spend my whole day trying to do that.
Yeah.
Trying to make money somehow, because it's important.
Yeah, it's definitely
Like it'll
Definitely.
give me freedom that I need at some point, you know.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be shitty now.
Yes, it's an odd thing, you know.
Oh, it's so weird.
Not. I feel like it's like it's almost too stressful for one person to like just rely on that, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing that sucks. You can't do that. Like I try to do that and it's impossible. I mean, there's definitely a point where you can for sure do that, unless you're an idiot and you make $1 million and you become like, oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire every year and I'm gonna go on vacations all the time for $1 million. You know, no. You should live like there's gonna be a point where everything will drop off. And like let's say if I spend like $50,000 a year and like Shimmy also spent $50,000 a year, we would be living like fucking like kings, like honestly, depending on where we are. I mean, in Pennsylvania, we would fucking be living like, oh my god, it'd be like the fucking, yeah, but not in
yeah.
California.
Yeah, I guess you just want to, like, I guess when you think you don't want to have day trading be like like an adrenaline rush or like you know, like some kind of rush.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you know that's just an addiction. Then you
That's
know,
why it is kinda
like
like
just being like you don't want to be addicted to winning at this game. You know what I mean? That
Oh yeah, I know
that
what you
you
yeah. That's why it's kind of fun
make your
though, to
job.
like make it a thing, because whenever you break rules like that, like if you do some stupid shit that you would like normally do in real life, you get punished. Like you lose money. So if you try to make it like a holy shit, this is every single time you trade, your heart's beating so fast and you're like freaking out, you know, that's probably not the best.
Yeah.
But like that's why I was saying that like eventually, like I've been doing it for 2 years, so like eventually it gets to the point where now it's like a game to against myself. You know what I mean? Like I don't really care
Mm-hmm.
as much about the money, even though I obviously want to make money, but still I'm not like either way. If I went crazy in this small account, it still wouldn't mean anything really. So
I feel like as long as you put emotions aside, and I'm
Yeah.
talking from someone that obviously doesn't know what they're talking about, but as long as you put
yeah, it's the same with anything though, and you
kind of, but like something like this. So as long as you can keep emotions aside and you know not get addicted to that thrill of you just won the game,
yeah.
you know, which obviously you know,
Mhm.
but just looking at it from an outside, it's just it's a weird dynamic for someone to want to do. You
Mhm.
know, I could see it's like a, you know, it's very romantic, but not something that is good for most people. You know.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's the same as like a business, though. How much is that is good for people? Like how
It's
many?
kind of like a
people-
business, but you can create a business around, you know,
It's the easiest kind of business to create.
it's kind of like a business, but you know, your business could be not like having a smoothie business. You know,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
running
you
a
don't have to
gym.
have any. There's no upfront cost. The upfront cost is that put it in the stock market. Like if you put money into a broker,
What do you mean? There's an
Like, if
upfront
I
cost.
have-
There's an upfront cost to starting
if
a
you have
business.
$5,000, or if you have $1,000 and you put it into a broker and you grow it to $100,000, obviously that would be fucking crazy. I'm not saying that like people can do that.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that can do that are already trading for like 5 years though, not like at the beginning. If you do that though, that's you know, you had $1,000 to start, and if you wanted to stop, you can take out whatever you like. Let's say you lost like $200 and you want to stop, you take out your $800 and you're chilling. If I want to start anything, like any kind of store or anything like that, it's brick and mortar, it's like at least 70,000 probably to just start, unless you want to be like disgusting, you know.
Well, you could have a business online, Etsy business.
Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah,
even that,
online.
you would have to buy your products too. So you could probably do that with $1,000 as well.
Yeah, you can start a business from nothing. You know.
Yeah, if you have time.
Well, yeah, you'd have to have time. You can't
have
have
a lot of
You
time.
can't have a 100-hour work week and start a business.
No, you can't be old either, really. I mean, you can, but
Can.
that's what I meant. I guess that was me just reiterating what you said. You can't like be working all the time.
Yeah.
And do that, but
Yeah, like Dad could start a, like there's levels to starting businesses too. Like Dad could start a way more successful business in a week than I could because of the capital he has, you know. Like he's
I
already
guess.
he could create a real estate business in literally 15 days, you know, because of the work that he has put in the last 50 years have the he has the means to do it. You know, you could hire certain people, and that I couldn't do. I'd have to do everything myself.
I'd argue that he probably would be good at like doing a pharmacy, but in other things, who knows?
What do you mean?
Like Dad would be pretty good at starting a pharmacy, but he might not be good at like doing like what I'm thinking of, Airbnb, or just like anything that's like modern-ish.
Yeah,
Like stuff that you would want to do.
Well, yeah, he's not gonna want to put that kind of work in anymore.
No,
but I'm saying that he could start a more successful business like making money was. Yeah, like starting real estate.
Let's talk about the election. Cooper's been wanting to talk about the election.
Oh, yeah, PA Senate election.
Yeah, give us your take, Coop.
Oz versus Fetterfart.
Yeah. Bye, babe.
What do you know anything about it? You doing research?
So I know two things.
I can't even vote for it.
John Fetterman.
My registration didn't go through.
Actually, Ben Shapiro too, and he's facing Mastriano.
What's that for, governor?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know those.
We're about to hear some super stupid shit from two guys who kind of don't know anything, except Cooper is taking a college class right now, so he kind of knows shit about.
No, I had to research it a little bit, and one day I watched their debate. Dude, their debate is crazy. We should pull up clips.
We should
pull up. Let's pull up debate clips, dude. Fetterman literally can't, like, he couldn't talk. Yeah. Which is the crazy part. I mean, he had a stroke like 6 weeks ago. He literally can't talk.
Yeah, that's.
And they say,
right.
And he won't release his medical records either, which I guess like he shouldn't have to. But I wonder that having a stroke, like I wonder if that affects other parts of your brain that we don't even know about.
Oh, it for sure does.
Like
a stroke is from your fucking brain.
Yeah, I wonder if that like affects parts of your brain that might make you more impulsive or might make you more emotional or like might not make you the same person that you used to be, you know?
Yeah.
Just look up.
Yeah.
Just go to videos. Pull a video of it. Like clips or something. It's just weird to see because the people that ask the questions, whatever they're called,
yeah,
the moderators, they have a closed captioning behind them, and he has to read every question that they ask him because he can't process, like he couldn't process a question in his head. He has to read it because he can't think that fast.
That's
weird,
so
dude.
Weird.
You just go to YouTube and look up the actual debate.
If I don't know if I can play things from YouTube because it might strike us.
I think you can. Oh wait, maybe not.
No.
I was gonna say Joe Rogan always does, but he's on Spotify.
Yeah.
Strike us for what?
If they see that you copied another video which is in their system, so it's like immediate, then they like say that there's a copyright issue.
Or we don't care about being monetized.
We can also turn off the sound, but like that'd be the.
No, we gotta watch it. Look up, PA State Senate debate. Look up like the full debate.
You just watch this.
It's a weird. Politics are such a weird dynamic, though. Like the more I pay attention, which is not a lot, but enough, more than most people, I don't really care that much. I'm very independent politically. Don't really care about either party. The more I watch, the more I think it's just a joke.
Yeah, seriously.
The more I inform myself, I think it's a joke.
All right.
He started off, he said, "Hello everyone, good night." Instead of saying good evening, he said good night.
Some Biden shit.
For real. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, here you go. Go wait. You just had it.
I wasn't even. The desktop audio was off. Whoops. So they couldn't hear any of that.
That's an unprofessional thing we run.
Sorry.
That's why we need a Jamie.
Yeah. Anyone want to sign up to be Jamie?
I bet I found someone that doesn't really like. That just wants to learn. Doesn't care about getting paid. Give them a mic too. Skip ahead, because they're just gonna talk here.
We'll edit that last thing out, but this will actually have fucking audio.
Duh. Not really showing them what I wanted. I wanted to see, just show that how much he was stuttering. But I guess this is good though. You can exit out of that. Yeah. Those debates are so weird too, because you don't learn anything. Like they ask the most important questions. Like, I don't know. Do you support, just like a hot topic issue? Like, do you support abortion? And all that either one of them does is just work around the issue, so they don't have to give a straight answer, so they don't piss off one of a potential voter. You know what I'm saying? And all they do is give them like 15 seconds. So they say, Dr. Oz, you have 15 seconds to retract what Fetterman says. Hell's 15 seconds is not enough.
15 seconds?
Yeah, 15 seconds is not enough time to retract against so like the most important issues that they're asking about. I mean, they're asking like, if they ask like COVID-19 response, they give one guy like a minute, and then they give the other guy 15 seconds to retract. So it's just like, first of all, it should be run like those debates.
Give me a one-liner right now,
dude. For real, they're really just looking, and like, pretty much, I guarantee you, and I kind of know that they are too, because we learned about it in class. They're very like, they practice this. Like, they're not going into they're not going in the debate like, hey, nice to meet you. Like, they're practicing like, you make sure whatever you do not say these specific things, because kids these days vote based off of a 10-second clip that they see on TikTok. So they're like Oz, they're like Fetterman, like they're probably training him like, whatever you do, don't repeat the same words like 9 times, because it's gonna make you look bad on TikTok. Okay, if you repeat the same words 9 times, it makes you look like Biden, who we literally have like 1,000 memes about. And they're like, Oz, don't say something stupid. Like, just if they ask you an issue that you don't want to talk about, like abortion, where maybe in your heart you probably do support it, but you don't want to piss off your Republican voters, and you want to work, and you don't want to say no to abortion, because then you're taking away potential moderate voters, and because that's all PA is moderate voters, you know what I mean? And so you're taking away those potential voters, and so just work around it. Like, they're gonna ask you about abortion, just work around it. But it's just so funny to watch. Like, I said that in class too. I was like, these debates are so stupid. Like, I learned nothing about either candidate. I literally learned nothing. Like, I want to know, like, if this bill, I just want to know, like, the things that are important to me, like the policies that, like, the values that I believe in. I want to know, like, if this bill were to be brought up, what would you say to it? That's all I want to know. You know what I mean? And I like, even if they say, like, they could say something and not do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, he could say, like, yeah, I would vote like against gun restrictions, but he might vote yes. You know what I mean? It's just it's so stupid. It's so funny.
Yeah,
like,
it's so weird.
Yeah, like, why would Fetterman even agree to do a debate? Dude, like, he says, like, he literally started, says, "Hello everyone, good night." That's literally how he started. Instead of saying good evening, he said good night.
Is he I think they have to do it, right?
Well, no, they don't have to.
Really?
No, Fetterman, when he start, the funny part is too, is that whenever like this whole race started and they both won their primaries, Fetterman said, "I guarantee you Oz won't debate me." And then Oz, so he backed himself into a corner saying Oz won't debate me. And then he had
Oz is like, no, give him a stroke.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and then he had a stroke. And then Oz was like, "All right, debate me now, bitch. You just had a stroke. Debate me now. You just had a stroke. Let's go." And then they did their little debate. Wow. Dude, and it was a mess. You got to see if you can pull up while I'm talking. Dude, it's so funny to watch because it's not funny. Like, I hope he gets better, obviously. But
yeah, watch what you say here, buddy.
The dude can't talk. I'm not even saying, I don't know which one I would vote for. I'm just saying, like, man, what convenient timing for Republicans for him to have a stroke and then him to say he won't debate me. I don't know if he said he won't debate me after the stroke or before the stroke, but I know he said he won't debate me, and then so he kind of backed himself into a corner, and then I said, "All right, let's run it," and they did it, and it did not go well. Look up just the full debate. It's like an hour and 2 minutes long, and just click to like a random part of it.
It's that bad where you can just click anything?
Yeah, you can literally click any question they ask, and it's that bad. Yeah, I wonder when like the lizard people are gonna start coming out. It's fun to watch because I literally could care less about, like, I'm so far away from either party that like it's fun for me to watch because it's just like objective. Like, I don't get mad about anything. It's like goofy for me to watch, you know?
All right, let's see.
It's weird when people are so party like married to their party or party centered too. Those people make me weary. Like, I don't want to be around them. They make me nervous, right? You're on someone that's so addicted to their party. No, yeah, I'm gonna go to that ballot box and I'm gonna circle all Democrat.
No, yeah, for sure.
This kid raped his child. This guy raped his child.
No,
I'm gonna vote Democrat because we need more Democrats in office. Like, or same with Republican. Like, this guy.
Blue, no matter who.
This guy shot his wife in the foot because dinner didn't taste right. No, like, I'm gonna vote for him anyway because we need more Republicans. Dude, it's so weird.
That is really weird.
But most people don't have the time to like look up policies. Yeah. Like, they don't know their own values. They just.
And it's boring, but.
Yeah, it's important. Don't you think it's kind of important though? No.
I want to see this first part.
All right, can they listen? Can you hear it on the thing? All right, turn it up.
As loud as it gets.
Dr. Oz was I think he's a heart surgeon. People say he's a fake doctor. That's funny.
The hell? Need to get back up, man. Honestly, that was a good little speech, though. That was a good intro, even though he practiced it. But
yeah, it was still pretty bad. But go to like middle when they're asking hard questions.
Here?
Yeah, whatever. I think he lived with his parents till he was 49. That's crazy. I mean, we don't know what that even means, so.
What does that sound?
Is that what they're gonna hear? All that. Keep it going. Jeez, dude, did you hear him like stutter? Like, that's bad. Like, that's just bad in general, right? You know, like if mom talked like that, I would be like, Mom, take a nap.
I wonder like what it means.
Hold on. Keep going. "30 seconds. To talk about an issue that's like 5 hours long."
Yeah.
Compared to like, look how sharp he is too. Look how sharp Oz is. I'm not saying I'm voting for either one.
Wow. Okay.
The weird part about those debates too is they're basically just telling how they would run the country, like if they were a king, right? Like,
True.
they're like just saying if I was in charge, but like that's not how it's gonna. That's not how
Yeah.
it works when they're actually there.
Uh-huh.
Like it's all about vote. Like I don't know, but it seems like it's just all about what are you gonna say when this bill?
Power.
No, they're just like it's like what would you do if you were a king, Dr. Oz? You know what I mean? It's not. It's like what would you do if like these are the bills that come? Are you gonna say yes or no? Isn't that seem more important
Yeah, for
than
sure.
being like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they can't even do what they want to do anyway.
No, like whatever he's saying, like yeah, that's cool that you believe that, but that's not gonna come to fruition. You know what I mean? You could have 35 issues, and maybe like a half of one of those issues is probably gonna come to fruition, and it's not even due to you. It's just due to the convenience of that bill coming to office and you being the deciding vote over 2 years.
Yeah.
Weird.
Is it only a 2-year term?
I think Senate's 2 years. Again, I'm not even voting. Like I can't even vote. My registration didn't go through in time.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I don't really care either way. Like I mean, I do care, but I don't either one. I don't even know which one I would vote for right now if you told me, gun to my head. But I just, I would be weary to vote for someone that had a stroke.
Yeah.
And I don't really know why I wouldn't vote for Oz. I just am saying that
I would definitely want to watch the rest of the debate and like
you should watch it.
Fetterman can actually like say anything of value. Like, 'cause if he's saying things of value or he's just like mixing up words, that's okay because he could have had a stroke in like the area of his brain where he has speech.
Well, he did.
So that means that he like could know what he's saying, but he can't get it out physically. Like there's people who can like never get the right word out because they have the like take brain damage to that. I think it's called like aphasia, like maybe Broca's aphasia or something like that. Because I learned that in psychology, but yeah.
Yeah, he did, is what I learned in class. But so that's what everyone's like, oh, it's just his speech.
Yeah.
But what I'm curious of, like, is a doctor to come out and say, well, actually, if you have a stroke, like, there's a possibility that, like, the part of your brain that makes you impulsive, or like the parts of, like, we don't even know, you know what I mean? Because your brain just shut down.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like when your brain's like I wonder what the other possible effects, if any, might have occurred. It might occur whenever your brain just shuts down, like, you know what I mean? Or what things might come up, you know what I mean, someday.
Yeah, I just have to watch it and just see who
You have to watch it.
who I agree with more.
Yeah, that's what I did. And
it's hard because they talk, you're right, how they talk about like super big issue and then like it's only 2 years and they can't even do anything about it anyway. Like Oz is like, yeah, I want to put more workers on our feet, which he's talking about like oil and coal for Pennsylvania. He wants to like have coal and everything, which like on the surface, you know, people would be like, okay, global warming, obviously don't do that. And he is just like, that might not, I mean, it might take a fucking year just to open a mine. And then by the time he's out, it could be someone else and they could shut it down in a minute. So
I'm curious why Oz wants to be Senate. Why would you ever want that? Why would you ever want to run for a public position?
I just talked to my friends this week and I was like, you know how fucking weird you have to be to wake up and be like, I want people to vote for me to be the leader. Like, that's like leaders don't ever like attempt, they don't try to be a leader.
No.
Being a leader is whenever you are called to action and you have to like act on it. It's not about like begging people to make you important. Like, that's not what a fucking leader is.
Yeah, it's such a weird, like, what kind of person, why would you want to do that? Why would you ever want to be a public official? You know, it's like the president is such a stupid job too. It's basically like saying it's like a king, right? Yeah. It's a king. Like Biden's our king, and you know, he's not making all the important decisions. He's just a face. You know what I mean? And it's just so weird because I remember I was listening to someone say, he's like, there should be new qualifications for president. It's like he was saying, he's like, it should be, can I leave you alone with my kids? Like, would I trust you to be alone with my kids? The answer is no. You probably shouldn't be president, right? And he's like, not even saying like they're gonna be doing weird things at them, but like, do you trust them to protect your kids? Like, do you trust them? Like, the responsibilities you have with your kids, like, you have to protect them, to feed them. You know, you have to make sure that they're like well mentally. Like, would you trust a president? Would you trust that person with your kids for a year? For a year? Would you trust Biden with your kids for a year? If the answer is no, you probably shouldn't vote for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's being like, it's like a joke, obviously, because he's saying, because then he's like, we're his kids, you know, we're his kids now. Would you trust him with your kids? And he's like, you should be able to talk. That's what he said then. It's funny. You know, you should be able to form intelligent sentence. You know, dude, did you see? I didn't actually see the video. I just heard people talking about it. But I guess Biden was talking about Afghanistan, and he was talking about something that like he started fucking up bad, and a Secret Service agent dressed as like an Easter bunny because it was Halloween or something. Oh yeah. Pulled him away, like say like it's time to go, Mr. President. It was, dude. See if you can find that. We could talk about it. But I didn't actually see the video, but it was so funny because it was like. They were saying, what if there's people on the, like, there's Secret Service agents are like, they're like on the phone, they're like be on standby, he's about to say something, they're like, yeah, is this it? Can I hear this?
a second. Hold on. Sorry, we don't have a Jamie.
We're gonna get one. I'll find one this week.
I wonder why.
Post it on Fiverr. Who wants to work for free for us? But you get to learn how to run a podcast, and you get a mic.
This latest awkward moment comes as The Hill reports President Biden told former suddenly whisked away, get this, by the Easter Bunny.
Pakistan should not, and Afghanistan should be.
Oh, the Easter Bunny, Mr. President.
Oh God! It's literally an Easter bunny that pulled him away. I did
This
not even
latest
expect
awkward
that.
moment comes as The Hill
they were
reports
like-
President Biden told former
like-
President Obama that he plans to run for a second term,
Oh my
despite his
God.
lagging poll numbers. Kennedy, I wonder a lot. I get asked a lot who's running the country,
They're
who is they, telling
It's so
the
sad
president.
that like they put him up there.
Dude, I know.
Like this old man's about to die.
For real.
We just accelerated his death like by fucking 10 years.
Yeah. Like, he's obviously in cognitive decline.
Yeah.
Like, if that was your grandpa, be like, dude.
We had our grandpa with Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, be like, relax. Go move to the beach. Go do
Yeah.
something. Like, you have all the money in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They really put him in that position. I wonder, like, I want to look up some conspiracies, like, that they made him do that. That, like, he had to do that or else they were going to, because they knew he was the only one that was going to win, or else they were, because they wanted a Democrat to be president for some reason. They needed it. And I wonder if they were going to, like,
lizard people?
not the lizard people, but, like, Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell, however you say her name,
Yeah.
she has the list of people that visited the island, the Epstein's pedophile island, which was
yeah.
like not even refutable. Like, that's facts.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was a pedophile island, and they have a list, but they won't release it. I mean, this is obviously, I'm just making stuff up on the fly right now. I'm not, but I wonder, like, if they pushed him, because I feel like that they did push him because he was the only one that was going to win. Like, Bernie was a very, like, candidate that we could most people could agree he's a way better candidate than Biden. Like, I would vote for Bernie, you know, but I don't think that they thought he was going to win if he was in there. Or like Tulsi Gabbard, she's a way better candidate than Joe Biden. And
I think that after Trump, everyone's biggest fear is to have a Trump, but they're like competent. Like Tulsi Gabbard is like Trump.
is she like Trump in what way?
No, in a way that she would totally, like, if something's wrong, she's gonna scream. It's just, what do you think is right or wrong?
What do you
Trump,
mean? Gonna scream?
She would tell people.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
she would expose the government.
Oh yeah.
Like, so would Trump.
Yeah.
But like, Trump's so fucking dumb. You can manipulate him, and like after a while, he didn't even realize he was being, yeah. Whereas she would know, and like having someone like her that's really smart is like a fear, because if she's like, you know, obviously competent and gonna expose you, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And she's like she's as competent as it gets.
Yeah.
Like, she
Just
was
common sensor.
she was a veteran.
Yeah.
She served in Congress. Yeah, when you hear her talk too, she's like as sharp as you can get, you know, and she's not playing sides either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that they really did think that he was the only one that was gonna win, because they do that. Like, that's
Oh,
a
for sure.
very we learned that in political class too. Like, they'll push the person that they think's gonna win. Like, they don't the primary is like they're not gonna always push like the best person. They just want that person to be in office.
Yeah.
Who has the best likely chance to win? And
In
is
a way,
it Joe
though, it's
Biden or
kinda
is it Bernie
smart.
Sanders? Well, yeah, it's smart. Yeah, that's what you should.
like what we always say, like most of the people, like their opinion doesn't matter much, because if they're on a side, they're gonna vote that side anyway. So it's more of like a war between two tribes. Like, how many warriors do you have? And if you have the extra top like main king on your side, then like you can get shit through a lot easier, like all your agendas.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what anyone's trying to do in office, is try to get some kind of bill through, unless you're fucking Nancy Pelosi and you're just trying to make fucking money.
Bank, dude. Dude, she's balling.
She's worth $100 million and she makes $400K a year.
You ever see, like, I think she has boob implants.
Really?
I don't know. That's what I heard someone tweet
I
that.
wouldn't be surprised.
Good for her, I guess, right?
Watch
Just
the
balling.
Trails.
If you're gonna ball, if you're gonna make that much money, like you have to ball out a little bit. You have if you're gonna make that much money, you have an obligation to us that don't make a lot, people that don't make a lot of money. You gotta show us what it's like to make a lot of money. No, like Jeff Bezos, like people like that, they have an obligation to ball out, right? Like I want Conor McGregor to buy $100 million yacht because I can't do that, and I want to know I want to see what it's like on social media.
Yeah,
I want to see.
Like I hate them. I want what they have.
Yeah, but they have an obligation. Like you shouldn't be like Warren Buffett and just be humble with your money. Like they have an obligation to just ball out of control.
Yeah, Warren Buffett's not humble. He just has a house. It's
Well,
like still a nice
live
house.
live humbly. You don't see pictures of Warren Buffett, like
Yeah, because he's
not coming out with vaccines.
True. I was gonna say something, but I forget.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch Trump versus Biden 2024, dude. It's gonna be fun.
That'd be fucking.
Dude, I'm gonna go to both rallies.
Nightmare.
If either one rallies in Johnstown, I'm gonna go because it's gonna be fun to watch. Because I'm just like, dude, people are goofy, both sides.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't be seen there from all the shit talking I did last time.
For real.
I have to.
I'm so mad we didn't go to the Trump rally in the airport.
Yeah, it was literally. It's
literally was right there.
Yards.
Literally was right there,
Yeah.
and we didn't go.
Yeah.
That was so dumb. If Biden comes to anywhere close in PA, I'm definitely gonna go to that. Be fun to watch.
For sure. That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I wish we would have gone to the Trump one too, because like, we should have walked the woods and see like what if there's Secret Service agents in the woods.
Dude, I was in the woods and Tucker was with me, and I was like, I fucking swear to God, I hear Donald Trump's voice. I had no idea he was.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, I hear his voice, and then Tucker was like, nah. We came back up, and I look at my phone, and it's like Donald Trump's rallying right here.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's so funny. I remember hearing like blow horns, and I'm like, what is that? And then I go on Snapchat, and my friends are at a Trump rally, 400 yards away from my house.
That's so funny.
Yeah. What time? How much time we at?
Wait, was he rallying? That was for his presidency?
Wow,
that's a long time ago.
that was a long time.
It's an hour, so.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Me too.
That was good. We kept to two things and really dissected them.
Let's talk about the evolution really quick. So obviously me and Cooper made our first podcast video so bad we just deleted it immediately. Second one was a little bit better, but it was just kind of random. The third one was the fucking worst. My audio was really bad, and we just rambled about dumb shit the whole time. So now we're trying to have like whatever, a little bit of bullshit in the beginning, and then we're gonna have like multiple topics that we'll talk about that are like whatever, current events or like life story, whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
And we both get like 2 topics or whatever, and we just try to stick to that for like a good amount of time, so we're not like so jumpy. But
yeah, we want to keep some kind of structure, but we also want to keep it organic too. We don't want to be like jumping from topic. We don't want to be like, all right, you're done talking about the stock market. Let's talk about. Well, even though we did kind of do that, let's talk about the election. But they kind of connected in a little way. We want to kind of keep it where the first 10, 20 minutes just gonna be us bullshitting and whatever. Then talk about things that we can really dissect, or in our dumb minds we can dissect, because keep a nice little structure to it, and actually get into topics too instead of just skipping over them. So
cool.
Yep. This might be episode 1.
Maybe we might delete the other ones because they're bad, but
You just want to do this episode 1?
no, we gotta leave them up.
You want to leave them up now?
We could just rename this one episode 1 something else.
All right, we'll talk about it. But
Cooper's like, fuck this, dude, we're deleting them.
I
I think it'd be cool to keep them up because I like to see how bad they are. And for YouTube, quantity over quality.
That is true. We're not gonna stop doing this.
Yeah.
We have to keep each other accountable.
We need to make a fucking studio.
We're gonna make a
I
studio
don't do this every day.
in the back shed, in our spare shed that we have in our house. We just gotta finish the walls, put up drywall, get my stuff out of there because I have stuff from. I store things in there. Put up drywall, put up insulation, buy some couches, set up a dope little pod.
Yeah, just
studio
super
and
simple.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna be simple, but that's gonna be fun. We gotta keep each other accountable though, every Sunday, regardless. Or if I have a wrestling tournament, we could do it Monday morning, but regardless, every week, like, has to be regard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
No matter what
It'd
we're
be
doing.
easy to just if we had a studio.
Yeah, if we had a studio, it'd be really easy.
It'd be awesome.
It'd be fun. It'd be, you know, this is fun too, but it'd be really fun to walk into a little studio.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Be awesome.
All right,
Just click and go.
episode 1.
Later, dudes.